Today is a wonderful, beautiful, magnificent day. And I know you guys are like, but Capri, I thought you said only black content on your channel for February. Baby, listen to me. Sometimes women lie. Write that down. Write that down. So today we are gathered here on this glorious, beautiful, phenomenal, blessed day that Jung Ho-suk was born, and I am so grateful. So if you don't know who Jung Ho-suk is, he is J-Hope, he is a member of BTS, and he is my bias, baby.
You see me? Yeah, I see you.
She put my name with yellow hearts. Her favorite color like the stars. I didn't listen very hard when she told me she was crazy from the start. She put my name with yellow hearts. Yeah, she did. I said she was a work of art.
I think BTS was the best decision ever.
If you haven't seen any of my other bookish BTS videos that I did, because of Mel, she comes up with these amazing book videos that are related to BTS, which I just like am thriving in. I love being a part of these. If you haven't seen them, I'll be sure to link them up here so you can check them out. But today is Hobi's birthday and he is my bias, so you already know like the internal screaming that is ensuing. But in all seriousness, I just want to give my little piece before we get into this video. Being a part of this fandom has been such like a blessing, and it reconnected me so much with music and my love for music, and just giving me a peace of mind. And one of the biggest, most important things in the fandom is finding out who your bias is, or who you connect to most, or who you're most alike. And for me, my bias is Hope, and I love him. I love everything about him. I love how selfless he is. I love how hard he works. I love the way he dances. I love his verses, always hot fire flames. Like there's always just like beauty in his lyrics, truth in his lyrics, like all the other members, but it just hits different when it's your bias. And I just admire him so much because he puts others' needs before his, and he is most happy when other people are happy. I feel like he's one of those people that look around and see everybody else is content, and then he's content. Like he bases how he feels off of how other people feels, which is why he's like known as being like the sunshine of the group and like the happiness of the group. And it's like he's not always like that, but he is the epitome of giving the boys a peace of mind, and he keeps them grounded. I don't want to get too sad because I'll start crying. We ain't trying to cry today, okay? We ain't trying to cry today. But I just want to say that I love J-Hope so much. He's my hope. He's my sunshine. And if you're not a part of the fandom, you don't get it. It's fine. I don't care. I'm still going to scream my love for him from the rooftops because I just admire his music so much. I love his dance. I love everything about him. And he is just everything, okay? So I hope that wherever he is across the world, that he is well rested, that he is surrounded by people that he loves, and that he has a good birthday. Let's get into this video. So if you don't know, the boy released a mixtape, okay? And the mixtape is called HopeWorld. The mixtape has 7 tracks, and based off of those 7 tracks, I'm gonna give you 7 book recommendations. So even if you don't like BTS, you can still pick up these books, baby. You can still check these books out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay, okay. If you have not listened to his mixtape, I will be sure to link a little playlist up here so you can check it out. And I'm going to credit the person that's clips I use in this video. The first song on HopeWorld mixtape is HopeWorld, and he said it's kind of like his little business card, his little introduction of his music to everyone, because it's his first mixtape and he's just like showing the world who he is.
Yeah. My name is my life. 희망적 vibe. 부정보다는 긍정 type. 이름 카페 but ain't no price.
For this song, I picked the book Like a Mule Bringing Ice Cream to the Sun, and this book follows a 75-year-old woman who is very known for being an independent woman, okay? She don't need nobody. She don't need nobody. She don't care if she old until one day she has a fall and she loses all of her independence, and so she's going around meeting people, talking to them, reconnecting with people, and she has to lean a lot on her neighbors, lean a lot on her friends, on her family, and it just dives into different people's stories and different people's lifestyles and her impact on them. And I chose this book because I feel like it's just so bright. First of all, the cover just caught my eye. I'm just like, okay, this has been on my TBR for a little bit, but this one, the cover is just so bright, and if you know about J-Hope, you know he's just sunshine. He loves sunshine flower, okay? So, of course, the first song of his mixtape, I picked something that was really bright. I picked a book that had a character that was very impactful because I feel like even though she's older, people don't forget who she is. Very obvious in the synopsis that this character, everyone that meets her is just like engulfed by her, knows who she is. She is very well known, and even when she gets hurt, she still is a very strong character. And I feel like with J-Hope introducing himself, a piece of himself to the world with his mixtape, he is also leaving an impact on listeners. So I drew that little connection. So the next song on the mixtape is Piece of Peace. He actually produced himself. Whenever the boys do albums that aren't group albums, like as BTS, they have to produce and write the music, everything by themselves. So that's why a lot of them, when they do their solo tracks, it takes them a while because they have to do everything on their own. And this one, he said that he's really close with, and he put his all into it. And this song really revolves around him talking about wanting people to find a peace of mind through his music, and wanting to connect with people and give them clarity and understanding, and talking about feeling hopeless and working hard and feeling like you're failing and still believing in yourself. And when you don't believe in yourself, you can just listen to this song and just like be at peace. And he talks a lot about how he struggles with public image and how hard he worked to get where he's at, and how it's still difficult where he is. And I just love this song so much. I just love listening to it because it just feels so raw to me. For this song, I recommended the book The Wicker King, which follows two best friends, Jack and August. And Jack is suffering from bipolar disorder, and August is doing his best to try to be there for his friend because it's a really difficult situation. When I heard the synopsis of this book and I heard about how August was working really hard to be like a peace of mind for Jack, I connected it immediately to Piece of Peace, because I feel like when you have someone that's your friend, or you have someone that you really love and you care for, and they're struggling with something, you want to help them through that. The same way with Piece of Peace, this song, he really talks a lot about wanting to help someone through a tough time, and especially with his music. So this friendship really reminds me of that. And from my understanding, as the story goes on and when Jack has more difficult times, the pages get darker, which I think is so cool. I want to read it so bad. And I think that his hallucinations are based on a fantasy world, and August starts to question if things are real or not real, and it just goes a little bit deeper into that. But just the basis of that friendship and the way that August wants Jack to lean on him reminds me a lot of Piece of Peace. So that's why I recommended this book. Okay, so the next song on the mixtape is Daydream, which is one of my favorites.
내 성격은 half and half no 공인으로서의 노력하는 life no 큰 욕구는 자제하는 중후 no 늘 공상에 차오르는 숨후 no 편히 울고 싶은 거 I know 미친 듯 놀고 싶은 거 I know 사랑해서 내고 싶은 거 I know yeah I know I know I know Cause me 다 물고기처럼 걸려봤겠지 상대 갈증으로 인한 욕망이란 그물들 yeah 보편적인 심리적 도피 나라고 헤쳐나갈 수는 없는 법 yeah 나 현실 거부부만 부적은 그 어떤 것들도 아냐 love my room 한 번쯤 다른 나의 인생 dream 그래 보고 싶은 거야 도화지 dream 저기저기 경계선을 넘어.
Where Hope talked a lot about how this song, the lyrics were really deep and dark and honest and raw, and how he wanted the music video to reflect happiness and color to distract his listeners from the actual lyrics, because the lyrics are really heavy hitting. And he talks a lot about being exhausted and working so hard to get to the top and being there and just feeling so many social obligations and so many things that you have to do to be successful. And even when you are successful, you still have to work hard to maintain that success, and just like the pressures of him being in his his mid-20s and just wanting to be a 20-year-old and wondering like what his life would be if he was not in the entertainment industry, or if he wasn't a rapper, if he wasn't a singer, what his life would be like. So he's daydreaming about how his life would be, what it would be like if he wasn't where he is now. So the book that I picked for this song is The Inexplicable Logic of My Life. God, that was so hard to say. I don't know why. I was just struggling with that. I don't know why, but it's fine. We got it out. We got it out. So this book follows Sal, who is a senior in high school, and his life is pretty much pretty simple and pretty laid flat and comfortable, but he starts to question, who am I, what am I going to be, obviously because he's a senior and because things are slowly starting to change. He's becoming a young adult, and he's just like wondering about who he is, and he's just like kind of abruptly disrupting the comfort that he has, because he's like shaking the table a little bit, like what the hell is going on with my life, what am I gonna do, who am I, like he's questioning everything. And I feel like it's similar to Daydream, because Hope talks about wondering like what life would be, how simple life would be as a 20-year-old without all these obligations. And it's similar with being a senior and being in high school and slowly creeping towards that line of being an adult, as Sal does in this book, and just trying to figure out who you are, what you want, what you're gonna be, and really just who you are as a young adult, especially just that jump from being a senior to like college or no school or getting a job or whatever. That's a big jump, and you just kind of wonder like what your life is going to be. And I think this is really similar to Daydream, really similar. Okay, so the next song, we get into some real bops. Okay, so the next song is Baseline, and this song is just oh, my ring's going off. Okay, and this song is just so full of good vibes and just like just the beat. Like when the beat drops,
내 음악의 baseline, 내 몸짓의 baseline, 내 삶 속의 baseline, 내 성공의 baseline. Baseline, 지금부터 base time, 느껴지는 bass time when you see my baseline. 저 세상 ace, 본질은 늘 case, 외징어를 입력해. I don't need your hate call, they say bass song, 근거 없는 채점, 그들에게 뱉어. HopeWorld baseline.
When the beat drops, like the feeling you get is how he feels about his music, and you just want to dance with him, and just like when that bass drop in any song, when that bass drop, you just be ready to dance. And I love this song so much. I picked Issa Rae, The Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl, and I picked this book because Issa Rae, honestly, I just love her. When I think of Baseline, the song, I think of like good vibes and just someone who's like true to themselves and just like vibing out. And when I think of that, I instantly think of Issa Rae, because she's just like unapologetically herself. She does not try to stay in a box that people expect her to be in. She's not cool and chill people expect her to be, because she's a black woman. She's very awkward, she's very nerdy, she's very, you know, geeky. She says weird things that people don't expect her to say, but she always is herself. And I feel like even like in movies and TV shows, YouTube, like where she started, she's always been true and honest to herself. And just like Baseline is just like such a good vibe, and Issa Rae is just such a good vibe. And I just draw that connection. I don't know about nobody else, but I draw that connection because she just vibes out and she's just true to herself, and I love that so much. So this book pretty much just follows like little essays of, I think the main character's name is Jay, but I'm pretty sure it's her. It's like little short essays of things that's happened in her life, just the misadventures of a black girl. The title tells you exactly what the book is about. So that's the book that I picked for Baseline. Okay, so the next song is Hangsang, which
Smash on the street. 우리 행복해 요즘을 누군 떼버려 굳이 탭 누군 카우스 토이 몇백 개 누군 살집을 고민해 맞고 오른 건물 우물박 보고 좋은 건물 넓은 잎판에 익은 건물.
Which is just talking about how much he loves his friends, how much he's always going to be with his friends, how much he appreciates them, how they just chilling in success together. It just hearing his voice on the track, just I feel my soul awakening. Like, you know how you have those artists where like they sing or they rap and you just like feel your soul come up out your body. Like that's how I feel when I hear his voice on every single track. He's just a blessing. Okay, so the book that I picked for this song is Let Me Hear a Rhyme, and this book follows a group of friends in the 90s, and they live in Brooklyn. One of them ends up getting murdered, but the other two friends in the friendship group decide that because he was such a phenomenal rapper and because his music was never really heard, that they're still going to make his music famous. But his music is a little bit too famous, okay? and he gets a following, and they want to see him perform, and they want to see who this man is, and he is no longer with us. So that's a struggle. The reason that I picked this book is because, like, you cannot think of a better friendship group if your friend's not pretending you didn't die and letting your music live on. What better friendship group is that than hello, they are making sure that your music survives, okay? Even though that you are no longer with us, they're still pushing your music out, making you famous, making your vibe, making your music be well known. And in this song, Hang Sung, he's just talking about like chilling with his boys, chilling with his friends, how close they are, how much they just vibe together. And it's the same thing with Let Me Hear a Rhyme, because hello, he's a rapper, he got murdered, his friends take his music and make him famous even though he is no longer with us, and now they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do from there. But that's just the epitome of a friendship group, like, and you got rapping in there. It's just, I honestly could not have picked a better pick. So the next song on the mixtape is Airplane, and this is another one of my favorites.
저 푸른 하늘 보며 뛰었네 날고 싶어서 그 airplane 그때 나를 다시 기억해 메마른 땅이 나보 태울 때 저 푸른 하늘 보며 뛰었네 날고 싶어서 그 airplane 아직도 난 안 믿겨 광주 토박.
Just love it so much. So there's a Korean saying called catching a floating cloud, and how it's not easily attainable, and it's just like something that people say to dreamers, or something that Korean people say to someone that is like reaching for something that they can't get. And I feel like throughout his entire mixtape he peppers in clouds in the sky and just like things like that to show like it is attainable. Like, I did it, like these are the dreams that I had and I made it happen, and I'm reaching for the clouds and I made it happen. It's just I love it. Anyway, sitting back one day, relaxing in their private jet probably, or like their beautiful airplane, and he just really like living in the moment and really enjoying how far they've come and how hard they worked and still are working to be where they are. For years he just wished that he was where he was at, and now he's actually there. It's kind of just like an out-of-body experience where you just like something happens and you're just like wow, I really made it. Like, this is just a song where he's like sitting back and just saying, wow, I really did this, I really made it. I could not find a book for this. You know what, don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. Finding a book for this song, I don't know why this was the only song I had such a hard time finding a book for, and I really did not find a book for this song. But the book that I paired with this song is a comic book, and it's called Seconds, and it follows the main character who pretty much has her life all set out, and she's very comfortable with where she is, and she has a really successful relationship. She's just content in her life, and she really just taking a second to sit back and be like, you know what, I made it, okay? I made it, I'm doing what I love, everything's fine. And that's why I do the connection to Airplane, because he's sitting back taking a second to be like, wow, I did this, I made it, everything's fine. But she decides that she wants a second chance. She wants a second chance at making things right, because as she thinks everything is perfect, things start going downhill. Like, stuff starts going wrong. And then she just like, okay, what can I do to get a do-over? Can I get a do-over? Can I get a do-over up in here? Please, can I get a do-over? So she ends up getting a do-over, and she goes back in time to try to fix or change things that are currently a problem in her current life. And that's kind of where it goes off the handle from the comparison to Airplane, but I still put these two together, so don't judge me. And I'm so sad to end this video because I could talk about J-Hope's music all the time, all day, and I do talk about him all day. I do. I really do. I really do. I really do. It's fine. It's okay. The last song that I'm going to talk about is Blue Side, and I love this song so much. This song... This song is pretty much just like a fade out of his mixtape. It's just like a closing piece. There's not really that much talking, there's not really that much rapping, and it's just like the perfect closing to this mixtape. So it really was like kind of personal, because to me I felt like it was like a personal thing for him, because he worked so hard on this mixtape. He worked for like 3 years before he even released his mixtape because he had that thing, let's say with me, imposter syndrome, because he felt like he wasn't good enough. He felt like his lyrics weren't good enough. He was worried about people wanting to collab with him. He felt like his music wasn't ready to be released. He was constantly doubting himself, and just this ending song really just hits me in the feels because I'm just like so proud of him, and I really just like take a second to listen to the song, and it just sounds like it's like a personal ending for him. Like, he did it. He did his mixtape. He put it out in the world. Everybody loved it, and it's still breaking records. So, you know, it's just personal. There are little parts where he says like, oh, like if I can't be there, then dream of me, or if I can't be there, then wish for me. And like just those little bits just sound so personal. So I wanted to recommend a book that was like somewhat personal but had a distance as well, if that makes sense. That was my idea. That I recommend for this song is I Wrote This For You. It's very interesting. It's a really interesting dynamic. It has a photographer and a writer, and there's a photographer that goes around for 10 years from 2007 to 2017 taking pictures of different things every day and sending them to the poet, and then the poet looks at the picture and writes a piece about it, writes a poem about it, writes an essay about it, writes something about it based off of what was given to them. And they've never met. They don't really talk. They don't talk to each other. And it just like these small little exchanges between these two is so personal to me. Like it just like was like such a raw like collaboration between artists. That's why I picked this one for Blue Side, because I feel like this whole mixtape for Hope is really personal, and just like this closing is just like the end of a chapter. All the self-doubt, all the road blockages, all the things he did for 3 years of like working so hard and still not believing in himself. Even though he was so successful with this mixtape, he still like doubted the mixtape, how he didn't think it was good enough. And just like this closing piece just means so much, and that's why I picked this book, because I felt like it's really personal, it's really hard hitting, and it's spread out through a long amount of time, if that makes sense. So that's the book that I picked for this. That is it for this video, baby. Today is Hope's birthday. I hope wherever you are celebrating J Hope's birthday. Okay, I don't care if you gotta call out of work. Do what you gotta do. It's a national holiday, all right? It's a national holiday. Your boss will understand. It's fine. Hope, you are loved all day, every day. You are the best. I cannot wait to see the barriers that they break, the next things they do, and just I want to just see them happy. That's it. And I will see them happy in person, up close at the concert, baby, in May. And I can't wait. But anyway, happy birthday, Hope. I love you, I love you, I love you so much. Everyone loves you so much. We love your music, we love your dance, we love your vibe, we love your smile, we love your style. I just, everything about you. We just love you so much. I hope you're having an amazing birthday. I can't wait to see everybody else's videos and what they recommend. Comment below and let me know who your bias is. And if your bias is Hope, make sure you put a little squirrel, okay? A little squirrel for Hope. A little squirrel and a little cake. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope that you are filled with excitement and happiness and joy, because it is a phenomenal holiday. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and make sure you comment below and let me know who your bias is, because I would love to find out. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.